It's the Yes Yeah Yes podcast with Marisa and Teresa.
Look, I'd rather be a gambler than a weedhead.
I walked in, sat down, had to leave, and violently vomited.
I'm not going down that hole. I'm not. Don't even try me. Not today, Satan. Not today. I value my friendship. You're the cream. And the coffee is life. Life. You bring cream to my life.
I'm not sure.
Once a week for an hour.
Hey, homie.
Hey.
I said it offline, but I'm gonna say it again. I really love your hair.
Okay. Humidity has gotten to it. I tried to comb it, but just you see my deodorant pits. Keep my arms down. At least
I get that too. At least you're wearing some, exactly. It is, and we're not even in, when is it the hottest months? July or August? July, right?
I think August. And then it takes a deep dive.
Either way, I feel like New York has I'm not leaving by no means, but at the same time, I feel like we have like weak windows of perfect weather. Otherwise, it's very, very cold, very, very hot, very, very rainy, very, very sticky, very, very humid. It's like very, very everything.
Right.
So I want to talk this week. So the title of the show is You Don't Get to Tell Me, It's on My Time. And this came about because there's a lot of things that happened in the news this week. Britney Spears and her conservatorship. But that's not where I want to go. I've been catching up on my Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, I'm in love. I can't believe
watching.
I have been watching. I'm only on episode 4, I think it is.
I don't think there's that many. There might be like 6.
Yeah, but still, I'm only on episode 4, so I'm definitely way behind. But I have to say this: love this season. I think I like this season more so than the very first season that started the whole franchise,
right?
And reality TV as we know it today.
Well,
so
relate to the game with the Housewives franchises.
I thought Real Housewives of Beverly Hills was the thing that started this whole
it was
reality show.
The OC.
The OC,
that I think the OC was the first one.
OC. You're right. And that was with doesn't matter.
I didn't watch that one.
I didn't watch it.
I know is Vicky Gunvalson.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. The insurance guru.
I don't know anything about what she does or how she made her money. I just know that
I remember
franchise queen from that one.
Yes. Do you remember when her and her friend, they were both on Wendy, when Wendy had the 6-week sneak peek before she had her syndicated show, where it was they were talking about, Atlanta makes so much money, and they're like, maybe for them, but it's just a site fee. Like they were talking about, like, that ain't no money.
No, I don't remember that. Because I don't think it was her, because she was on Wendy last year, and Wendy was like, this is her first appearance on the show.
Oh, so who was on the 6-week sneak peek? I thought that was Vicky.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyway.
Either way. So Crystal, they're at the episode where they're at Lake Tahoe, I think it is. Right. And one of the housewives walks into another room, but I don't see her knocking in the episode. So she knocks and
opens the door, like
creaks in.
Like a parent does.
I don't do that. I actually open the door real fast.
You're still young.
Yeah. But yeah, there's gonna be a moment where, like, no, I'm knocking. I know that.
You don't want you got 2 boys and a girl, like you're not trying. Once they turn 15 and 16, like you're not.
Let's not talk about that. I digress.
Service and knock. I mean,
exactly. But so she creaks open the door and she's like, I'm bringing you your coat. And then Crystal is MIA the next day. She confides in, I think it was
Dorit.
Oh, she confided in Dorit?
Yeah.
Because I thought it was Kyle.
I think it was both of them. You know, I've seen more episodes than you, so it's like the flashback. I'm trying to, anyway, she confides in one of the housewives. It doesn't matter which one.
that she was in the shower in the bathroom naked, and when she opened the door like that, she like covered her body and fell to the floor, and it was a very traumatic thing for her. So she's telling them, and it cuts to when it's like they do like these interviews, these solo interviews. Kyle goes, well, why didn't she address it the next day? Why didn't she say something? Like, she disappeared. And it got me thinking. And then the end of the episode, and I haven't seen what happens after. So I don't know. You would know more than me if they confronted each other. But it made me think, you don't get to tell somebody how they should react and how they talk about it or not talk about it. You don't get to say that.
Right.
And I think one of the things that I think people forget is consent and support are not mutually exclusive. Also, they are mutually exclusive. It's all the same thing. So support meaning acknowledgement of what happened with that person. They don't need you to fix it. Sometimes they just need you to listen, because they have to talk it out. Sometimes people need to talk it out, and it's not for you to take that information and run somewhere else with it. It's not what you do. But you also don't get to make a judgment call as far as when you were supposed to say it. And I also don't think you're allowed to play Monday morning quarterback to say, I would have addressed it right away. I don't think you really know exactly how you would react. And I don't think you really know how you would feel based on because it could have been someone else and she could have been very comfortable.
Right.
She wasn't. She was really taken back. So you saw that episode. Did you get the same thing out of it that I did?
I agree with everything that you're saying. It's hard to judge off of a show because obviously the clips and how they edit things. But one thing that I can say is that sometimes when things happen to us in life, you need a minute to process it. Like in the moment, it's easy to be like, you ever see like people that get beat up and they're like, or like even domestic violence, I wouldn't have stayed. It's like, it's easy for you to say that from the sidelines.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing, like you were saying with Monday morning quarterback. It's like, it's easy to say I would have scored a touchdown when it's Monday, the game's over and you didn't play.
And you had a different perspective. Like, oh, I should have ran left.
Right.
He ran right.
You have the benefit of seeing the whole thing play out. And so it's easy to do that. I think on the other hand, for me personally, do I think she overreacted a bit? Like it's like weird because they don't really, it's not like Kyle walking in on Lisa Rinna, where they're friends and they know each other. Like they just met like this season.
Yeah.
So they don't know each other like that. And so, for Crystal to be like, I need, she has the right to process it in her own time. And if that time took the next day, for Kyle to, like, she stays judging people. For her to sit in judgment is just like really whack, especially in this time that we're living. And their whole thing is like, you shouldn't, there's women that are really being assaulted and you shouldn't use that. Assault and rape and all these other things, not to say that was that bad. It comes in all forms. You know what I mean? It's not just one thing. And so if Crystal feels like she was violated, as she says she was, then she has the right to feel that way.
1,000% agreed. And that's the thing. I feel like maybe that's why I walked away from it feeling so, because people have violated my space in so many ways where when I say something, they're like, yeah, but you shouldn't feel that way. It's not for you to say that. So I'm a very short person. And sometimes people like, I also happen to be a big hugger. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it was COVID, but it's a whole new day. Don't be fucking hugging me. I'm so sick of hugs now. And I'm a hugger and I'm a toucher.
You stay trying to hug me still.
I know, but girl, I can't quit you. But I don't know what it is, but it's like, just don't, like, people have a tendency to like pull me in, and it's almost like I feel like it's a physical violation where it's like, please give me space. Or sometimes this used to happen to me a lot, not so much lately as of late, but like they would pick me up, and it's such it's such an uneasy and very scary feeling when people physically assert themselves on you, you being such a little person. It's very, very uncomfortable, and I don't like it. And when I would say that, they're like, oh, but you're just so cute. Not a kitten, not a puppy, not a rabbit.
Grown
Please,
woman.
grown ass woman, please back the fuck up. And I don't think we either, and I think this all tied into I brought up Britney Spears before, and there was a blurb from her statement that she made in court about her conservatorship, where she claimed, I haven't read the conservator agreement, where she claimed that she has to have an IUD put in, she can't get married, she can't have another child. That body autonomy that you don't get to have, that's a very violating feeling.
Right.
And when you look at the picture as a whole, you know, for the time in her life, who wouldn't go crazy? I know we spoke about this before. How do you not go crazy at that point?
Right.
But for her not to have her own body autonomy, and one of the things that made me feel like, okay, so consent and support come in so many different ways. So there was a wealth management company that was put in place to handle her financial wealth. They put out a statement to say they are filing paperwork to withdraw from being part of the financial part of the conservatorship, because they didn't know that she did not consent to any of this. So just showing that piece of support, hopefully Britney Spears gets to live
I'm suspect on that though, because the financial aspect of it, that's where her father is. He's part of that.
Yes. So part of that in the last court proceedings, it was a wealth management company was going to take over that portion of the conservatorship. He's still medical and day-to-day.
Oh, the father has nothing to do with that. The father is all financial.
No, I believe the father is not in that anymore. I believe that he's all medical decisions and like
they have there's a woman, I can't remember her name. She's in charge of all medical. I mean, I don't know. We can go back and forth on it. That's the last thing that I read was that, because he said he's not part of her conservator team, like he's not her conservator. And then with the judge's ruling, they said that he can stay, he has to stay on. Like the judge ruled against removing him. But the financial aspect, he's still in charge of her finances. And they have a medical doctor who's in charge of her well-being. Female, I can't remember her name. And so that's why I say it's suspect when they're filing paperwork to remove themselves. I'm like, yeah, okay. The father is not gonna, you know how hard it is to remove yourself from like money. I mean, she's not earning in terms of, you know, shows and things like that, but I'm pretty sure she still makes a pretty penny from royalties, and also she had investments and, you know.
Right.
So
do you think that she'll ever have, like, that conservatorship will be lifted ever?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know too much about it. I mean, I guess the fact that she didn't know that she could file to have it removed is weird. But from what I've heard from other lawyers speak on TV and stuff is that it's a hard process to have them removed. But on the other hand, it's usually held for elderly and mentally challenged people, not for like full able-bodied women. So
yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know.
The whole thing is weird too, because like she's on vacation in Hawaii, and I'm like thinking, I was like, I thought she couldn't do that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't.
Yeah,
it's too much for me. Where I'm just like,
the whole thing just doesn't make sense. Period. And just how does she have a conservatorship? I don't know. The whole thing doesn't make sense to me.
And I'm interested on like, there's nothing to do today. Like, there ain't shit else to do. I'm stuck in the house. It was a pandemic, but now, you know, the doors are open. I don't give a shit.
Like, they're being lifted. I'm not that invested.
Like, I'm sick of I'm sick of like the media forcing these, you know,
like a narrative or
these women, these child star, you know, oh, woe is me. Like, there's people that are really suffering right now, and Britney Spears is not on my list of people that I care to give two shits about.
Well, I'm glad you said these child stars. This woman is not, I don't know if she was a child star, but she was a star during my childhood. The Bill Cosby is being released from prison.
He has been.
Oh, he has been released. And
released.
Felicia Rashad made was it on Twitter or Instagram? I think it was Twitter. And she said a right is being wronged. But then turned off her comments. I don't know. I'm very.
You brought it up. What are your thoughts?
I did bring it up. So here's the problem. Here's where like I'm conflicted. She got the right to support whoever she wants. But it's very jarring. He's clearly, it's just way too many people came out to speak against him. He admitted to it as well. So what right is being wronged? What wrong was being right, I meant to say.
The only thing I can take it, but I don't, and I can take it literally, although I don't know that she meant it literally. I don't know if she meant it like the justice system. He should have never been prosecuted because he signed, like, we have these laws in place for a reason.
Right.
Yeah, it sucks, but he did a plea agreement. Millions of people do that in this country. He did a plea agreement. So is she
right?
A wrong has been righted because he should have never went to jail for this because he signed a plea agreement? Or is she saying a wrong has been righted because she believes he's innocent? She wasn't clear in that tweet. And so for that reason, I'm not like throwing her under the bus. Like, I'm just like, she shouldn't have said anything at all. Like, why everybody always got to run and give their opinion on social media? Like, what the hell? Like, the man hadn't even been home when she was like, a right have been wrong, a wrong have been right. Like, bitch, could you let him go kiss his wife? Like, why? I mean, I thought millennials were the only ones running the social media for everything. Like, the old people are giving
these old cats
for their money.
Yep.
Once grandmama learned how to tweet, if my grandmothers were alive, especially my nana, oh, she'd be all over social media. She'd be telling me things. I know it. I just know she'd be all over social media. My other grandmother, not so much. But
I hate how people like in like our everyday life, not celebrity life, how like you'll be like, oh, that's my grandma. She thought it was a private message. She damn well knew that shit wasn't a private message when she commented on a Facebook post. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, she knew what the fuck she was doing.
The grandmas be the ones out there really, like, you know, out of pocket sometimes. They really do. And so I'm not surprised that Felicia did that. But at the same time, it's like, come on, just fall back. Like, could you let him go, you know, get home? I don't think he was home yet before she was sending, you know, tweeting and shit. It's just, but like I said, on the flip side of it, it's like, I don't know, was she directing that comment towards the justice system, the legal system, in terms of him pleading guilty and still going to jail?
Right.
Because the follow-up was like, believe women. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How she was saying, like, I do support you.
That's what happens when you send. And then you'd be like, oh shit. Like, me and you could do that and we'd be like,
ain't nobody reading my damn tweet.
We might, well, no, nowadays they'd be like, you can't work here. And it's not going to go viral. It'd be the bitch that they shared a cubicle with don't like you. And now,
you know, that for sure happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But with her, wonder, like, should she lose her deanship at Howard University?
Oh. Because Howard University came out with a statement to say that, but
she's still dean.
But she's still dean. But that's a murky water thing because she didn't clarify that statement completely.
Should she? Should she lose her job at This Is Us?
Well, listen, if she's going to be losing jobs, I know 1,000 teachers and professors that need to be on that same, you know, unemployment line with her.
Right.
So if we're
talking to somebody and they were like, the feeling that I have about this whole thing is the same feeling I had with OJ. It's like, he fucked up, but when it comes to Black people, you're just like, well, it is what it is. it's like sucks because you like know a motherfucker fucked up, but it's like they lock so many people up for like minor infringences, whatever the word is, that like when somebody gets off, you're like, well,
one of them got away. Yeah,
he's a piece of shit. He really is. You know what I mean? Like, but like, it's the same thing with the Britney thing. Like, whatever. It's interesting as a news blurb that comes across your timeline. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm like, unless it affects like me and my people immediately, then I'm just like, whatever. I just get my popcorn and see what happens. You know what I mean?
Now the question is, so he's home now, and then now what?
Now I just read today, I don't even be looking for shit. You just be on social media and the shit come across your screen. Like, that's the thing I hate too. Like, on a side note, I have a relative who posted something that was very like jarring. It's like, I don't need to see that on my timeline.
What was it?
It was just for fear that this person might be watching, which I doubt. Let me just say this. I don't like to see Cardi B's ass, Megan Thee Stallion's ass, or nobody in my family's ass. You know what I'm saying? And you can't help it because it'd be the first thing that pop up and you're like,
oh.
What happened with my brother? Like, he posted a salacious photo with his ex-girlfriend. And I was like, what are you doing? And he didn't pay attention to me. So then I told my brother, and my brother told me he took it off. I was like, oh, you're going to listen to him. Whatever.
Stupid. Yeah.
I'm the puppeteer, but let him.
I'm gonna get your ass to do what I need.
Exactly.
Oh man. I think, what I think about that every once in a while, like, like social media is such like a time passer. So you open and you're like, and that's in all forms. Sometimes like I follow some news outlets. I'm like, I don't want to see that at all. Thank you for it, but no. And information.
I stopped following news outlets. I'm like, well, that's not true. I still follow CNN only because when I first followed them, it was true breaking news, like this building collapsed, stuff like that. And then they went into the political thing, and I stopped following them. Now they're like eating their way back to like, like world
events,
actual breaking news. But like newspapers and stuff like that, I can't follow that crap because it's just like, it's too much.
The thing that I find too much is that it's not equal or equitable for everyone. How like, the American justice system, it's not equal for everybody. And I find it so jarring, like the way that they put headlines and like of all the pictures that you got out there, that's the one you chose.
Right.
It's just way too much. And I
like what you were saying with Britney. You notice that the news keeps posting this crackhead picture of her. I'm like,
yeah,
got a million pictures of Britney, and this one looks like she's like strung out.
Yeah.
Like, they don't care.
And it's probably just bad lighting. Like,
yeah,
no, they don't.
She looks gaunt and not well, but that's the picture they keep posting.
And I don't know what happened to my algorithm. I really don't. And I had to like delete and then put back in, log out, log back in on most of my social medias. I don't know what happened. I don't know what I clicked on, but all of a sudden, like all these things started popping up with the whole, like calling everybody a tranny, a transgender person. And it was like, this one's a tranny, and it's like a picture. And it's like, Kourtney Kardashian? First of all, that's not a negative. That's number one. But number two, Kourtney Kardashian? Like, and it's like all these celebrities, and I just don't understand what happened to my algorithm, but hopefully it got fixed. But then, I didn't mention this before. I'm going to try to find it now. Homegirl with the, 100-meter dash.
Right. Shakara, I think her name is Shakara. But anyway, talk about it. You don't have to.
Sha'Carri Richardson. So she can't compete now in the 100-meter dash Olympics, which she already won the gold. We already know this because she tested.
Did not win the gold. That's the whole thing.
But the whole thing is that she bitch had it in the bag though.
I know.
She had it in the bag. You're gonna tell me, and then because of marijuana use, she can't compete?
What are your thoughts?
This is the most bullshit shit ever, because we see other athletes that have been in the Olympics and tested after they got off the podium, and I don't recall them getting their gold medals taken away.
Hello, screams Michael Phelps.
Again, with is it equal and equitable?
And of course, you know, the apologizers from who have a particular hue like to make the comparison that his happened in the off season.
Okay, first of all, but his was performance enhancing drugs.
No, it was marijuana.
Oh, got it.
But what is the off season? They train all year round.
All year. Homegirl had it in the bag though. Like, you really gonna do you think that there's gonna be? I
understand. Once I found out what happened, it's like I can't begin to understand how she was feeling in that moment. You make a mistake, your mother died. You find out from the reporter that's interviewing you. And you start having all kinds of feelings and anxiety, and to calm down, you smoke a joint or whatever. Like, I can't sit in judgment. I mean, it sucks, but
a colonizer can rape a woman behind a dumpster, and it's just a young man, a 15-minute mistake.
Yeah. Who's probably working at Merrill Lynch right now.
Oh, making $250.
Right.
But he worked hard to get there, not because his dad knows all these judges.
Just like, you know, people are getting on, just on a side note, working hard, people are getting on Jeff Bezos because he's always been like, he worked hard, he pulled himself up. Yeah, you got $50,000 from like 20 people in your family to start Amazon. And they became stockholders. Okay. I don't even know. I probably know like one or two people that got $50,000. Not that they would give it to me, but that like can cough up $50,000 within a week. Maybe one or two people. You know what I mean?
Was 50 grand each or all together?
No, each.
That's a lot of money.
I know. He his goal was $1 million, but
here's the thing that kills me. So you had the attainability, right? This is not a small business loan. This is not the layperson. You had the attainability to be like, so I'm thinking about making this thing on the internet. You got 50 grand. No, I'm gonna give you 50 grand. Like, he asked for more, but they're like, I'll toss you 50 grand. Do you know, like, the surroundings of that alone already doesn't make it equul?
No.
But okay. And I'm sure he worked hard. And this is
the pulled himself up by the bootstraps, you know.
The thing that people forget is, like, being transparent is not taking away the work that you put into it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he didn't work. I'm sure he worked. I'm sure he worked 20-hour days. I'm sure he did. He put in work. I get it. Smart business move. I get it. You went to the people that you had in your network. I get it. I'm not saying you didn't work, but you didn't do the same thing as, like, you know, Marisa Salas from the Bronx. Like, it's not the same. It's just not the same. You can't say it's the same. It's not equal.
Unfortunately, he's never going to hear the naysayers, I don't think. He's in a bubble, and so many other people are. But I forget why I brought that up. I think she said something, but I didn't mean to change the subject. It's just crazy.
No, but it's I just, you know, for her, a Sha'Carri Richardson, I just feel I feel for this situation where you qualify for the Olympics and some weed
I think
pulls it from you.
thinking that might, like, she's gonna run in another one because it's further down. So she might be able to still,
Oh, she can compete in other ones, just not that first.
right, because
So
falls
she's
in the
banned for a month.
right, it falls in that 1 month period.
So she can still come home with her gold.
Right.
I
Like, I don't know if she's in a relay or anything like that, you know,
oh yeah.
other dashes, you know, they're not all on the same day.
Is Flojo still with us?
No, no.
Why are you laughing at me?
She done died like 20 something years ago.
I don't know. I just think about like Flo, like on some Flojo shit.
Her sister-in-law is Jackie Joyner Kersey.
Joyner. And like that's the type of energy that I need right now for homegirl.
Yeah.
She like hopefully she's gonna be all right. And the other thing too is like now she's having to make all these statements, and don't be having her looking all like crazy either. You were so quick to highlight her beautiful nails and her hair and her glowing skin on that track, but then you got her with terrible lighting and making her look all crazy. Of course she's gonna be salty.
The thing about it though that I think a lot of people don't realize is that Olympians are not rich. Most of them don't have PR agents. They work at Starbucks. They're not Michael Phelps. Michael Phelps is like 1 in 1,000.
Right.
They're not like, what's her name?
The sponsorships are not
Simone Biles. They're not like that. You know, it's they don't have the same kind of, well, and so she probably don't have a PR person. She probably don't have any of that, you know. She has her coach, and that's it. And the people that sponsor her to get to the Olympics, that pay for her to get there.
right.
That's about it. But it's like, you know, most Olympians are not gonna be Bruce Jenner, you know.
Do you think this, because you're a sports person, do you think this, is it, what's the college basketball that now you can do? Is that NCAA?
It's not just basketball, it's all college sports.
Oh, it is. I thought it was just, okay, so
No, NCAA. All college.
NCAA,
Yeah,
got it. They're able to monetize their
likeness.
college,
No, their likeness themselves, not the
like
college.
the endorsements and stuff like that.
Right. But they're not, you know how many, like, it's not going to affect, it's great that they have the opportunity to do that, but some chick that's in fencing at North Dakota University is not going to make any money from her own endorsements. You know what I mean? This is really the quarterbacks of elite schools, the Sweet 16 college athletes from basketball, like baseball. Do we know like we know like college basketball players, we know football players, we know the Tom Brady's and people like that, Reggie Bush, people that, you know, spent time in college. Basketball players is like, you know a few, but most of them only go to college for 1 year that want to go into the NBA. These athletes is, I don't understand why the NCAA was never allowing them to make money off of their likeness to begin with. It's like so far and few actually are able to do that. So it's like so stupid. They were just trying to monopolize the whole thing. Meanwhile, they made money off of them by selling their jerseys and things like that.
Well, that's kind of what I was like, where my mind was. So everybody else got to make money except for them. Now the question is, do you think that industry is going to change now that they can't make as much money, now that they have to split these coins?
No, because I don't know that they're going to make money off of their jerseys, because those jerseys are owned by the school. And they wasn't making money from them doing autograph sessions and signings. So it's not cutting into the bottom line of the university. It's just creating more income for the students, where they can sign an endorsement deal with Nike, which they probably,
Right.
how many of them are actually going to do that? Like I said, it's so far, it might be 1 or 2 total.
The thing that kills me though, it's just like, so, and I'm still wrapping my head around sports. I'm still learning all these like other things. So hold on a second. So in America, right? The ideology that is drilled into all of us is that you have to go to school to get a good job to do all these things. So if you're in sports, well, you should go to college so you can speak eloquently like Michael Jordan and present well, and you can, have business acumen like Magic Johnson. But then you get there, and then you're just a money making tool for someone else.
Right.
So what happened? Like how where are you putting the value into the player? With the player, all that work that player did, that whole the holistic part of it all. I feel like there's a gap. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know where to change it. I don't know how to speak about it, but I just feel like there's a gap in value and I don't understand. So if school is so important and you pay for these top schools, you're paying $125,000 just to be there, hopefully all scholarships, but still they're making triple fold on you being there and playing for them than you will ever, like if they would have paid full college tuition, it wouldn't have touched what that college made on you alone.
No.
And it
But as
just
a collective unit. That's the thing that people don't understand. Like when it comes to like the NFL draft, I think there's only like 180 people, 80 guys get drafted. There's more than 180 colleges and universities in this country. So
that made complete money off of you, and your body is now stressed. I don't know where your schooling stands. I don't know where, like, you had to go here to get there, but what happened in between when you didn't get here? Where's the value of the holistic part of it all? I just don't. And that's it. It really just boggles my mind how we drill into each other and ourselves. And I have younger kids, and I fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know where I stand yet. They have peers that have private coaches, and they travel teams, this team, they're on 6 different teams, and all you hear these parents say is, oh, they're going to be an elite athlete because that's going to get them to this school, which will get them to there. Like, ma'am, your son is 10. But then
starts young.
But it starts even younger than that. Like, I think about my kids, like they're way long behind the 8 ball, because
but your goal is not for them to succeed in sports. Whereas other people, like, they put value, and this country is kind of weird that way, where value is put in someone like I said, Tom Brady, as opposed to a Jeff Bezos.
Well, Jeff Bezos is valuable because now he has a dollar amount to him. But
No,
had it not been,
I'm saying in terms of like I'm sure I'm sure his family wasn't like, yeah, you got to be an athlete. Like there was like, how many different ways that you can be successful monetarily or not?
Yeah.
I mean, without having to, catch a football or kick a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you're skilled, then so be it. You know what I mean? There are kids out there that, like, you look at them and you're like, oh, they need to be an athlete because they have a particular skill set that's
right.
But like I said before, it's like 180 guys get drafted a year, or 280, something like that.
But and they don't even last, because like look at the career. Yeah, look at these careers. It's
But if you're the type of parent that teaches your kid about education, and that, sports is fleeting, but save your money and invest it in, yourself and business, then that's a different thing. But unfortunately, many of the athletes that become successful, they come from economically depressed neighborhoods where that is their only option.
Yeah.
I can't, it's like one of those things where I can't sit in judgment. Like, what was the name of your topic? We didn't really speak on that topic too much today, but what is the title of it?
Oh my word. I'm not here today. I'm here, but I'm not here. Oh, hold on. You don't get to tell me, it's on my time.
Right. So it's like, it's the same thing when you think about it with sports.
Yeah.
Like, you don't get to tell me what I should or should not pursue. It's me. It's my, my body. If I want to go on football, it's my brain. If I want to get a concussion, you don't get the right to tell me. So
it's interesting. It's interesting where as a society we place value. Obviously, every unit does things a little bit different. I do appreciate the holistic approach. I do believe I think there's value in sports, but I
Right.
also think the value in sports is beyond like that's going to pay for college. Hopefully, maybe I would love that. I would love that if my kids had sports and academic scholarships and I didn't have to pay for college at all. Girl, success right there. I know I did my job. I got them to a place, but it boggles my mind how like we place value on certain things over like I don't know, making sure everyone has access to clean water. Like
this is the reason why, I mean, we're not going to talk politics, but this is why it's important that the people you vote for have your true interests in mind.
yeah,
Like truly, the reason why the NCAA has lifted these restrictions is because the Supreme Court voted to do so, which is, to me, it's a shocker because it's a true conservative Supreme Court. And at the end of the day, it was like, what? You know what I mean? So it's important to really, think about, and I'm talking like in your local communities, not just
yeah,
presidential, not just Senate and House, but the person that's running your town. It's
yes,
important to see where they stand and what's going on. If your roads is fucked up, is the person you're about to vote for, like, what do they feel about infrastructure? You sick of going over the
yeah.
potholes. It's like, well, who's running your town?
Well, think about like in the state of New York with the COVID relief funds for renters still hasn't been dispersed.
Right.
The money's been given to New York, but it hasn't been dispersed. How is that okay? And the moratorium for evictions is going to be lifted soon. How is that okay?
Right.
It's just sitting there. How is this okay?
It's all about who you vote for. So keep that in mind, especially you guys. Well, New York, they already voted in the city for mayor, but there's elections that are coming up, in your town, my town, USA towns across the country, and just, maybe take a minute, if you can scroll on Instagram and see who you think won versus last night, then you can scroll.
Ooh, who do you think? Who do you think won? I love the zaddy comments. I
don't know, but it just, if you can take the time to do stuff like that, then you could take the time to, see how you're going to be affected by the people that are running your country. I mean, running your state or your city.
Yeah.
Your county.
I have a big emphasis on local politics just because, it goes up. Our governors and presidential and Senate and all that stuff are doing what we're yelling about. So if you keep making these phone calls, making it what it needs to be, it'll get there.
Right.
I started this with the whole idea of body autonomy, where you have the right to walk into a situation. Oh, you know what? Let's switch it up. Sorry.
Oh, okay. See, you didn't give me the heads up, yo.
I didn't give myself the heads up.
And I don't. Oh, there we go. Now I got to change my background. It's like a whole.
It's a whole thing.
And now that I think about it, I don't even have. Oh shoot. Because my thing. What do you call it? For some reason, my computer reset. I don't know what happened, but I have to like re-add everything to
Isn't that the worst?
Yeah, but it's fine.
As amazing as technology is, it's also like, come on now.
Exactly. All right. Let's see.
Marisa's musings.
So I started the topic today with body autonomy. You don't get to tell me, it's at my time. So one of the most amazing things I think we can teach ourselves and the people around us is however you feel about a situation and walk away from it with, whenever you feel like addressing it, do that. When someone decides to address you and how you made them feel, it's not for you to diminish and it's not for you to fix. Sometimes just an acknowledgement is enough. I have a tendency to walk away from situations where I didn't know that I offended someone. And I'm not apologizing. That wasn't my intention. But when someone has come to me, I try my best to acknowledge their feelings. And I know that I come off cold, but I'm trying to process how they might have felt, despite my intentions, despite what I said. Trying to take myself out of the situation, really understand. And I know it's hard, and I'm not perfect, and I'm still not there. I'm not even halfway there, because it's probably going to happen tomorrow where somebody says, you know, I said this to you and you just look like. I have resting I don't care face, and I have resting sad face, and it just is what it is, where I always make a conscious effort to have not a smirk, but a slight smile, because I know I have resting I don't care face.
Mm-hmm.
And I try my best to acknowledge someone else's feelings. I have a tendency to not have too many feelings. I'm either real sensitive or I just don't care. So everything else in between, I'm really making concerted efforts. But like I said, you have the right to your feelings, but you have the right to process, acknowledge, and speak on those feelings if you choose to at your time. No one gets to tell you how you should react, when you should react. The only other thing that a person can do is listen, acknowledge. But now here's the caveat of it all. Just because you go to someone with how you felt doesn't mean they have to give you what you need to make it whole for yourself. And that's the hardest part of life. And with that, homie, where can they catch us?
They can catch us everywhere. But specifically, they can catch us Yes 18 on Instagram and Twitter, the Yep Yeah Yes podcast on Facebook. We're everywhere. We're on
Just your smart speaker.
Yeah, all your streaming devices, Spotify to the Amazon Audible, Google Play, iTunes. We big in these streets.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a nice compliment. It's actually for both of us, but I was talking to somebody and they were like, y'all, a lot of people be following y'all. And I'm like, do they really? But then, you got to appreciate, 30 hits. There was a time where we get 2. It was like,
and it was us and your mom.
Right. I mean, your brother wasn't even watching it back or listening back then. I think it was like my mom and El Gato.
Yeah.
That was it. Now El Gato don't listen no more. So we lost one.
What?
She got something with her car. Like she can't listen enough.
Oh, don't even.
That's not a good enough excuse.
Not excuse.
I have to have a conversation with her. I might have to post this clip right here and shame her.
So Gato, you better be listening.
Hello.
Fro man, I'm counting on you.
If you was a real friend, you'd be listening. I'm not going out with you no more until you start listening. We ain't walking no more until you start listening. We're gonna test you. We're gonna quiz you. But yeah.
What color is my shirt?
Check us out everywhere, y'all, and thank you for your support. Continue to listen and watch and share and all that good stuff.
And acknowledge someone's feelings.
Acknowledge their feelings.
Yeah.
And
don't be fake though.
They might not align with yours.
Exactly. Usually it doesn't, but that's okay.
Yep. Exactly.
I say that now because nobody's talking to me.
Who's not talking to you?
No. I'm saying usually sometimes if somebody's saying to me Like if I reiterate a story to him, like I don't give a fuck about her feelings, but she sat there and told me anyway. And you're like, what did you do? Just looked at her.
Oh yeah, that you're
Like
famous for that.
I'm famous, right? I know, but I'm trying,
Yeah,
and
So-
I'm sensitive as shit too.
it's all good. Happy 4th of July to everyone. Be safe. If you can do fireworks, stay clear. And happy birthday to America. We're flawed, but this is our country. We here.
This is us.
This is us. All right, y'all.
Bye.